still shines. The Two Noble Kinsmen, Act 4, Scene 1. Enter jailer and his friend. Hear you no more? Was nothing said of me concerning the escape of Palamon? Good sir, remember. Nothing that I heard, for I came home before the business was fully ended. Yet I might perceive, ere I departed, a great likelihood of both their pardons. For Hippolyta and fair-eyed Emily upon their knees begged with such handsome pity, that the Duke, methought, stood staggering whether he should follow his rash oath, or the sweet compassion of those two ladies, and to second them, that truly noble Prince Pirithous, half his own heart set into, that I hope all shall be well. Neither heard I one question of your name or his scape. Pray heaven hold it so. Be of good comfort, man. I bring you news, good news. They are welcome. Palamon has cleared you, and got your pardon, and discovered how, and by whose means he escaped, which was your daughter's, whose pardon is procured too, and the prisoner, not to be held ungrateful to her goodness, has given a sum of money to her marriage, a large one, I'll assure you. Ye are a good man, and ever bring good news. How was it ended? Why, as it should be. They that never begged, but they prevailed, had their suits fairly granted. The prisoners have their lives. I knew it 'twould be so. But there be new conditions, which you'll hear of at better time. I hope they are good. They are honorable. How good they'll prove, I know not. 'Twill be known. Alas, sir, where's your daughter? Why do you ask? Oh, sir, when did you see her? How he looks! This morning. Was she well? Was she in health? Sir, when did she sleep? These are strange questions. I do not think she was very well, for now you make me mind her. But this very day I asked her questions, and she answered me so far from what she was, so childishly, so sillily, as if she were a fool, and innocent, and I was very angry. But what of her, sir? Nothing but my pity. But you must know it, and as good by me as by another that less loves her. Well, sir? Not right? Not well? No, sir, not well. 'Tis too true she is mad. It cannot be. Believe you'll find it so. I half suspected what you told me. The gods comfort her. Either this was her love to Palamon, or fear of my miscarrying on his scape, or both. 'Tis likely. But why all this haste, sir? I'll tell you quickly. As I late was angling in the great lake that lies behind the palace, from the far shore, thick set with reeds and sedges, as I was attending sport, I heard a voice, a shrill one, and attentive I gave my ear, when I might well perceive 'twas one that sung, and by the smallness of it, a boy or woman. I then left my angle, to his own skill came near, but yet perceived not who made the sound. The rushes and the reeds had so encompassed it. I laid me down and listened to the words she sung, for then through a small glade cut by the fishermen I saw it was your daughter. Pray go on, sir. She sung much, but no sense, only I heard her repeat this often. Palamon is gone to the wood to gather mulberries. I'll find him out tomorrow. Pretty soul! His shackles will betray him, he'll be taken, and what shall I do then? I'll bring a bevy, 100 black-eyed maids that love as I do, with chaplets on their heads of daffodillies, with cherry lips and cheeks of damask roses, and all will dance an antic for the Duke, and beg his pardon. Then she talked of you, sir, that you must lose your head tomorrow morning, and she must gather flowers to bury you, and see the house made handsome. Then she sung nothing but willow, 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 and between ever was Palamon, fair Palamon, and Palamon was a tall young man. The place was knee-deep where she sat, her careless tresses a wreath of bulrush rounded, about her stuck 1,000 fresh-water flowers of several colours, that methought she appeared like the fair nymph that feeds the lake with waters, or as Iris newly dropped down from heaven. Rings she made of rushes that grew by, and to 'em spoke the prettiest posies. Thus our true love's tied. This you may lose, not me, and many a one. And then she wept, and sung again, and sighed, and with the same breath smiled, and kissed her hand. Alas, what a pity it is! I made into her, she saw me, and straight sought the flood. I saved her, and set her safe to land, when presently she slipped away, and to the city made with such a cry and swiftness that, believe me, she left me far behind her. 3 or 4 I saw from far off across her. One of 'em I knew to be your brother, where she stayed and fell scarce to be got away. I left them with her, and hither came to tell you. Here they are. May you never more enjoy the light, etc. Is not this a fine song? Oh, a very fine one. I can sing 20 more. I think you can. Yes, truly can I. I can sing the broom and bonny robin. Are you not a tailor? Yes. Where's my wedding gown? I'll bring it tomorrow. Do very really I must be abroad else, to call the maids and pay the minstrels, for I must lose my maidenhead by cocklight, 'twill never thrive else. O fair, O sweet, you must even take it patiently, 'tis true. Good even, good men. Pray, did you ever hear of one young Palamon? Yes, wench, we know him. Is it not a fine young gentleman? 'Tis love. By no mean cross her. She is then distempered, far worse than now she shows. Yes, he's a fine man. Oh, is he so? You have a sister? Yes. But she shall never have him, tell her so. For a trick that I know, ye had best look to her. For if she see him once, she's gone, she's done, and undone in an hour. All the young maids of our town are in love with him, but I laugh at him and let him all alone. Is it not a wise course? Yes. There is at least 200 now with him by child. There must be 4. Yet I keep close for all this, close as cockle, and all these must be boys. He has the trick on it, and at 10 years old they must be all gelt for musicians, and sing the wars of Theseus. This is strange, as ever you heard, but say nothing. No. They come from all parts of the dukedom to him. I'll warrant ye he had not so few last night as 20 to dispatch. He'll tickle it up in 2 hours if his hand be in. She's long pure. Heaven forbid, man. Come hither, you are a wise man. Does she know him? No, would she did. You are master of a ship? Yes. Where's your compass? Here. Set it to the north, and now direct your course to the wood, where Palamon lies longing for me. For the tackling let me alone. Come, weigh my hearts cheerly. Aug, aug, aug. 'Tis up. The wind's fair. Top the bowling. Out with the mainsail. Where's your whistle, master? Let's get her in. Up to the top, boy. Where's the pilot? Here. What canst thou? A fair wood. Bear for it, master, tack about. When Cynthia with her borrowed light Scene 2. Enter Amelia alone with two pictures. Yet I may bind those wounds up that must open and bleed to death for my sake, else I'll choose and end their strife. Two such young handsome men shall never fall for me. Their weeping mothers, following the dead cold ashes of their sons, shall never curse my cruelty. Good heaven, what a sweet face has Arcite! If wise nature, with all her best endowments, all those beauties she sows into the births of noble bodies, were here a mortal woman, and had in her the coy denials of young maids, yet doubtless she would run mad for this man. What an eye, of what a fiery sparkle and quick sweetness has this young prince! Here Love himself sits smiling, just such another wanton Ganymede set Jove afire with, and enforced the gods snatch up the goodly boy, and set him by him, a shining constellation. What a brow, of what a spacious majesty he carries, arched like the great-eyed Juno's, but far sweeter, smoother than Pelops' shoulder. Fame and honor, methinks, from hence, as from a promontory, pointed in heaven, should clap their wings and sing to all the underworld the loves and fights of gods and such men near him. Palamon is but his foil to him, a mere dull shadow. He's swarth and meagre, of an eye as heavy as if he had lost his mother, a still temper, no stirring in him, no alacrity, of all this sprightly sharpness not a smile. Yet these that we count errors may become him. Narcissus was a sad boy, but a heavenly. Oh, who can find the bent of woman's fancy? I am a fool, my reason is lost in me. I have no choice, and I have lied so lewdly that women ought to beat me. On my knees I ask thy pardon. Palamon, thou art alone and only beautiful, and these the eyes, these the bright lamps of beauty that command and threaten love, and what young maid dare cross 'em? What a bold gravity, and yet inviting, has this brown manly face! O love, this only from this hour is complexion. Lie there, Arcite, thou art a changeling to him, a mere gypsy, and this the noble body. I am sotted, utterly lost. My virgin's faith has fled me. For if my brother but even now had asked me whether I loved, I had run mad for Arcite. Now if my sister, more for Palamon, stand both together. Now come ask me, brother. Alas, I know not. Ask me now, sweet sister. I may go look. What a mere child is fancy, that having two fair gods of equal sweetness cannot distinguish, but must cry for both. How now, sir? From the noble Duke your brother, madame, I bring you news. The knights are come. To end the quarrel? Yes. Would I might end first. What sins have I committed, chaste Diana, that my unspotted youth must now be soiled with blood of princes, and my chastity be made the altar where the lives of lovers, two greater and two better never yet made mother's joy, must be the sacrifice to my unhappy beauty. Bring him in quickly, by any means I long to see him. Your two contending lovers are returned, and with them their fair knights. Now, my fair sister, you must love one of them. I had rather both, so neither for my sake should fall untimely. Who saw him? I a while, and I. From whence come you, sir? From the knights. Pray speak, you that have seen them, what they are. I will, sir, and truly what I think, 6 braver spirits than these they have brought, if we judge by the outside I never saw nor read of. He that stands in the first place with Arcite, by his seeming should be a stout man, by his face a prince, his very looks so say him, his complexion nearer a brown than black, stern and yet noble, which shows him hardy, fearless, proud of dangers. The circles of his eyes show fire within him, and as a heated lion, so he looks. His hair hangs long behind him, black and shining, like raven's wings, his shoulders broad and strong, armed long and round, and on his thigh a sword, hung by a curious baldric, when he frowns to seal his will with. Better, O my conscience, was never soldier's friend. Thou hast well described him, yet a great deal short, methinks, of him that's first with Palamon. Pray speak him friend. I guess he is a prince too, and if it may be greater for his show, has all the ornament of honor in it. He's somewhat bigger than the knight he spoke of, but of a face far sweeter. His complexion is as a ripe grape ruddy. He has felt without doubt what he fights for, and so apter to make this cause of his own. In his face appears all the fair hopes of what he undertakes, and when he's angry then a settled valor, not tainted with extremes, runs through his body, and guides his arm to brave things. Fear he cannot, he shows no such soft temper. His head's yellow, hard-haired and curled, thick twined like ivy tods, not to undo with thunder. In his face the livery of the warlike maid appears, pure red and white, for yet no beard has blessed him, and in his rolling eyes sits victory, as if she ever meant to crown his valor. His nose stands high, a character of honor. His red lips after fights are fit for ladies. Must these men die too? When he speaks, his tongue sounds like a trumpet. All his lineaments are as a man would wish 'em, strong and clean. He wears a well-steeled axe, the staff of gold, his age some 25. There's another, a little man, but of a tough soul, seeming as great as any, fairer promises in such a body yet I never looked on. Oh, he that's freckle-faced. The same, my lord, are they not sweet ones? Yes, they are well. Methinks, being so few and well disposed, they show great and fine art in nature. He's white-haired, not wanton white, but such a manly color next to an A-born, tough and nimble set, which shows an active soul. His arms are brawny, lined with strong sinews. To the shoulder piece gently they swell, like women new conceived, which speaks him prone to labor, never fainting under the weight of arms. Stout-hearted still, but when he stirs a tiger. He's gray-eyed, which yields compassion where he conquers, sharp to spy advantages, and where he finds 'em, he's swift to make 'em his. He does no wrongs, nor takes none. He's round-faced, and when he smiles, he shows a lover, when he frowns, a soldier. About his head he wears the winner's oak, and in it stuck the favor of his lady. His age some 60. In his hand he bears a charging staff embossed with silver. Are they all thus? They are all the sons of honor. Now, as I have a soul, I long to see 'em. Lady, you shall see men fight now. I wish it, but not the cause, my lord. They would show bravely about the titles of 2 kingdoms. 'Tis pity love should be so tyrannous. O my soft-hearted sister, what think you? Weep not till they weep blood. Wench, it must be. You have steeled him with your beauty, honored friend. To you I give the field. Pray order it, fitting the persons that must use it. Yes, sir. Come, I'll go visit 'em. I cannot stay. Their fame has fired me so, till they appear. Good friend, be royal. There shall want no bravery. Poor wench, go weep, for whosoever wins loses a noble cousin for thy sins. Scene 3. Enter jailer, wooer, doctor. Her distraction is more at some time of the moon than at other some, is it not? She is continually in a harmless distemper, sleeps little, altogether without appetite, save often drinking, dreaming of another world and a better. And what broken piece of matter soever she's about, the name Palamon lards it, that she farces every business withal, fits it to every question. Look where she comes, you shall perceive her behaviour. I have forgot it quite, the burden on it was down, down, and penned by no worse man than Giraldo, Amelia's schoolmaster. He's a fantastical too, as ever he may go upon's legs, for in the next world will Dido see Palamon, and then will she be out of love with Aeneas. What stuff's here, poor soul! Even thus all day long. Now, for this charm that I told you of, you must bring a piece of silver on the tip of your tongue, or no fairy. Then, if it be your chance to come where the blessed spirits, as there's a sight now, we maids that have our livers perished, cracked to pieces with love, we shall come there, and do nothing all day long but pick flowers with Proserpine. Then will I make Palamon a nosegay, then let him mark me, then, how prettily she's a miss, note her a little further. Faith, I'll tell you, some time we go to barley break, we of the blessed. Alas, 'tis a sore life they have in the t'other place. Such burning, frying, boiling, hissing, howling, chattering, cursing. Oh, they have shroud measure, take heed, if one be mad, or hang, or drown themselves, thither they go, Jupiter bless us, and there shall we be put in a cauldron of lead and usurer's grease, amongst a whole million of cut-purses, and there boil like a gammon of bacon that will never be enough. How her brain coins! Lords and courtiers that have got maids with child, they are in this place. They shall stand in fire up to the navel, and in ice up to the heart, and there the offending part burns, and the deceiving part freezes. In troth, a very grievous punishment, as one would think, for such a trifle. Believe me, one would marry a leprous witch to be rid on it, I'll assure you. How she continues this fancy! 'Tis not an engraft madness, but a most thick and profound melancholy. To hear there a proud lady in a proud city wife howl together. I were a beast, and I'll call it good sport. One cries, oh, this smoke, the other, this fire. One cries, oh, that ever I did it behind the arras, and then howls. The other curses a suing fellow and her garden house. I will be true, my stars and my fate. What think you of her, sir? I think she has a perturbed mind, which I cannot minister to. Alas, what then? Understand you she ever affected any man ere she beheld Palamon? I was once, sir, in great hope she had fixed her liking on this gentleman, my friend. I did think so too, and would account I had a great penworth on it to give half my estate, that both she and I at this present stood unfeignedly on the same terms. That intemperate surfeit of her eye hath distempered the other senses. They may return and settle again to execute their preordained faculties, but they are now in a most extravagant vagary. This you must do. Confine her to a place where the light may rather seem to steal in than be permitted. Take upon you, young sir, her friend, the name of Palamon. Say you come to eat with her, and to commune of love. This will catch her attention, for this her mind beats upon. Other objects that are inserted tween her mind and eye become the pranks and friskins of her madness. Sing to her such green songs of love as she says Palamon hath sung in prison. Come to her, stuck in as sweet flowers as the season is mistress of, and thereto make an addition of some other compounded odors which are grateful to the sense. All this shall become Palamon, for Palamon can sing, and Palamon is sweet, and every good thing. desire to eat with her, carve her, drink to her, and still among intermingle your petition of grace and acceptance into her favor. Learn what maids have been her companions and playfares, and let them repair to her with Palamon in their mouths, and appear with tokens as if they suggested for him. It is a falsehood she is in, which is with falsehoods to be combated. This may bring her to eat, to sleep, and reduce what's now out of square in her into their former law and regiment. I have seen it approved. How many times I know not, but to make the number more I have great hope in this. I will, between the passages of this project, come in with my appliance. Let us put it in execution, and hasten the success, which doubt not will bring forth comfort. End of Act 4 of the Two Noble Kinsmen. Amen. Praise God. Jesus Christ. Jah Rastafari, the Most High.